Hey everyone, it's Greg Saunders with GJS Capital Ventures. And today I just wanted to go over how I've been really successful with having virtual assistants and the tasks that they've done for me for my real estate business, both as a long-term assistant and when I have short-term just tasks that I don't feel like doing. So, the number one thing that I've found over time is when you are hiring and training someone to do a task for you, you have to delegate the task and you have to train them to be able to do it. For me, I started off with just saying, hey, here's the task, here's the result that I want. However, you can get it done, do that. And that's not the way to do it. Mostly because people will have no idea of what they're doing, and what you get back is a really subpar product. So, the big thing for the training that I found is actually what I'm doing right now. It's creating a video, and I use a program, it's called ScreenFlow, and I'll show you a quick little screen capture of it. But what it allows me to do is it creates a video in the corner, but also shows my desktop and allows me to edit. So as I'm creating a video and I mess up or I stumble on something, or if I miss something, I miss a task that needs to be put in, then I can go back, easily edit, and I mean, it's as simple as clicking the mouse and inserting a different type of video. So that is the number one thing, is going through your task ahead of time and very explicitly showing what you want to have done. So for me, I have gone ahead and created this entire Dropbox file called tutorials. So for each of the projects that I've done in the past, I can easily hire someone new, show them the videos, and answer any questions that they have. Now, this a lot of times is called your standard operating procedure, and it's another thing that as you're growing your business, you want to have lined up so that way if I ever decide to no longer do the position that I am, which hopefully I won't be doing this in another 15 years, but I'll already have a training manual set up with training videos. So, for example, if I'm looking up non-performing notes, I have an entire folder with 4 videos on how to find different data and information. Now, for finding the tax data, that was something that was a lot more difficult, so I created an entire separate tutorial. But you can see how when you add all of these together, I no longer have to worry about if this assistant isn't doing well, how hard it's going to be to hire someone else, because I already had that in place. Now, the other thing I've found really nice for Dropbox is you can transfer these videos with just a link. So I don't have to upload these videos to YouTube and send them over as a compressed zip file. They just have to be able to access my Dropbox. Oh, on top of that, if I have any sensitive information, like let's say passwords, I don't have to send those. I can leave those in Dropbox as well. So that's the number one most important thing, is the training that you do. Now, beyond that, finding the right person is incredibly difficult, but has gotten so much easier when I figured out the right way to do it. So I use Upwork.com as my recruiting site. People go on there, they post whatever jobs that they think that they can do, and then it's up to us to just get through them and figure out who we want to hire on. Now, the biggest trick, and this will save you hundreds of hours that I have wasted on bad assistants, is you need to write an obscenely long description of what the job is going to be. So for describing the work to be done, I mean, this is lead generation for real estate. I could have put this in about 3 sentences and then explained further. But the big trick is somewhere in the middle of this really long and boring description, you need to put this line. So for me, my email is gjscapital@gmail.com, or that was my old one. But what I want someone to do is, and just like that, I realized I had uploaded the wrong advertisement. So what I was looking for is this QuickBooks Online Expert, because I have this line in here that says, also, when applying for this job, do not send a response email, but send one to my personal account with the subject line, Mr. Money. Now, Mr. Money makes no sense. It's not a typical subject line, but that's what you want. Because if I post this online for people that are working for $5 or $6 an hour, I'll get anywhere from 30 to 40 responses in a 12-hour period. Now, if only 3 or 4 of those have followed the directions and read that entire paragraph, then I have narrowed out 27 people just because they didn't read the full description. So putting in something in there, Mr. Money, I've used fuzzy pink elephants as a subject line. I've used drunken leprechauns because it was March as a subject line. Whatever will stand out. So when someone reads it and actually has followed the directions, that is a really strong indicator that they're going to be, well, good at the job. So once you do find the right person and you have the tutorial videos, using Skype is going to be paramount for you. It's a program you have to be good with. And the reason is, with Skype, it's very simple to send messages, and there's an app on your phone so you can be accessible at all times. But you can also take screenshots and send them to people. So much like with the video tutorials and explaining to someone through the videos of what the task is, as people have those one-off questions, I do a lot of screenshots with my assistants. So this is a screenshot of a house that we were doing analysis on, and they had asked me, hey Greg, where do I find the date and the last loan information? So I took a screenshot with my Mac. I did a simple circle in Preview, and I put them under the property info so that way they know where to look next time and where those bits of information were. Now let's say they came back to me and said, hey Greg, where's the last transfer date? Well, there you go. And now I'll send them a note that says, look into the green circle. That's so much easier than trying to get on a Skype chat and text a visual direction, because that just doesn't work. This is an actual conversation that I had with one of my assistants where I showed her where the information was. She sent me back some photos on her spreadsheets, and the conversation was done in, 15 minutes on my own watch. The other thing that's really helpful is if you use a program on your phone called Voxer. It creates a walkie-talkie between you and your assistant. So if you're not someone who likes being on Skype and doing texting, you can use Voxer, send a voicemail. So if you can do those things, if you can create a training tutorial, if you can hire them by putting in that one subject line that proves they've read your ad, and you're able to use Skype and be accessible, you'll have a really, really high success rate with your assistants. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I'll talk to you soon.